Hi, welcome to the PhoneArena video review of the HTC Desire HD, the latest offering from HTC running Sense UI on top of the newest iteration of Android, Froyo. From the offset, it looks like it's going to be a multimedia powerhouse with its 4.3-inch screen and 8-megapixel camera. Let's find out if the reality lives up to the hype. The first thing we notice about the HTC Desire HD is the screen. It's big and it's bright. Even though not as sharp as some might have liked, the resolution is nevertheless very good, with 480 by 800 pixels. And on the whole, we'd say that the screen's one of the best things about the phone. Colors on the Desire HD may not be as vibrant as on AMOLED screens, for example, and blacks aren't as black. However, we'd still say that the Desire HD offers one of the best screen experiences on a phone, being very responsive to the touch with its capacitive glass front and offering great brightness levels, ideal for movies and pictures. Working our way around the phone, and on the left hand side we can see the volume rocker. On the right hand side there aren't any buttons. On the bottom is a micro USB port and a 3.5mm headphone jack. At the top is a single power button. On the front, just below the screen, are 4 capacitive buttons. Above, a grille with an in-call speaker and a light sensor. On the back of the phone is a loudspeaker, 8-megapixel camera and dual LED flash. The battery cover is unusual. It's on the side, and the battery slides out like so. You might ask where the SIM card goes in this case, and that would be at the bottom. Just slide out the bottom panel and you have a SIM card slot and a micro USB card slot. Other reviewers have complained that these aren't as easy as traditional battery covers and SIM card covers, and we do agree. However, we have to applaud HTC for their innovation, as these do end up working pretty well. The only niggle would be that the bottom SIM card and memory card cover does have a very slight gap in between it and the body, and this could cause concern along the line after wear and tear. On the whole, with regards to build quality and size, the Desire HD feels very nice. The screen takes up a lot of the fascia with very little wasted space, so for a 4.3-inch screen device, it's not as big as it could be. It also fits comfortably in the hand with an ergonomic curve at the back and in the pocket. Most importantly, it also works very well as a phone and fits very well near your ear and to the mouthpiece. In turn, we're overall impressed with the styling of the Desire HD. The patchy design works very well with the different colors, and the size and weight also lend itself to great performance. Running Android 2.2 with the new and improved Sense UI laid over it, the Desire HD immediately looks familiar if you've used an HTC Desire before. Providing you with 7 home screens and a pinch to zoom functionality, everything looks very slick and transitions occur very smoothly. The custom widgets HTC provides are truly fantastic, offering bespoke utility out of the box. An example of this would be the calendar widget. This takes up an entire home screen, is perfectly formatted to the screen's resolution and size, and offers considerable functionality on the fly. On any home screen there are 3 icons. There's Menu, Phone, and Personalize. Press the phone button and you'll pull up the dialer. This is very responsive, provides haptic feedback and can be minimized to give you your call log in the background. Press Personalize and you're left with a menu giving you customizations with regards to wallpaper, themes, and skins. As you can see, HTC have provided quite a few options and you can download more from HTC's online store. You also have access to the full range of Android wallpapers. Pull up the menu and you'll find HTC hubs immersed among Android's own. Taking a look at HTC's applications, These include car panel, connected media, a DLNA type service, desk clock, which offers extremely standard but useful functionality, flashlight, friend stream, HTC hub, HTC likes, which gives you suggested applications, news and weather, as well as a stocks program and an ebook reader, not to mention a track identifier, SoundHound. These all add tremendous out-of-the-box functionality to the phone. Messaging's also a breeze on the HTC Desire HD, thanks to a fantastic keyboard experience. In portrait, the keyboard is perfectly used for one-handed usage. In landscape, we could comfortably use two hands. We'd find we'd type whole paragraphs, for example, without even looking at the keyboard and make very few mistakes. In turn, this is one of our favourite keyboards on a touchscreen phone. Multimedia performance on the HTC Desire HD is overall fantastic. The weak point would probably be its camera. It leaves a lot to be desired when it comes to quality, at night time especially, though it has some really great fun modes. Nokia have really raised the bar with the N8, so yes, we're glad HTC have put some fun modes on there, however core quality would be very nice. Daytime shots tended to come out well without too much noise, however exposure levels were very inconsistent. As soon as the sun went down though, so did the quality of the pictures taken on the phone. Noise becomes a problem very quickly, and even with the dual LED flash on board, which does a good job, this isn't remedied. If you're looking for a decent camera phone, the HTC Desire should suffice. However, if you want something that can possibly replace your compact, you may want to consider a Nokia N8. It has to be said though, the two strong points of the camera would be the fun modes and the macro functionality. And these also work extremely well when combined together, as we can see from this vintage macro shot, which is very pleasing. You can check it out on the website. Music playback on the Desire HD is great, with a range of sound options and the onboard Dolby Digital enhancement providing a great roundness of noise. The HTC Desire HD can comfortably double up as your MP3 player. Music can be viewed by artists, albums, playlists, all songs, connected media, which is a DLNA service, and marked items. It's very useful and usable. As we said, it can comfortably replace your MP3 player with better audio quality than some MP3 players that we've used. Now on to video playback. Wow. This is where this phone shines. Whack the screen up to full brightness, find a great film, jam it on. Wherever you are, the HTC Desire HD will deliver an immersive viewing experience. The image is smooth, it's very bright, and while the colours naturally aren't as vibrant as say on an AMOLED, we find that the brightness really is what counts when you're out and about. One side note would be that the battery life really does get drained with movies. With a 4.3-inch screen, naturally turning it on to full brightness is going to suck out the juice, but when playing videos as well, especially if you're connected or streaming them, the battery may flag before 4 or 5 PM, which is never a good thing. You have options when you're watching videos to control the sound as well, from Dolby Digital to surround sound. As far as codec support goes, it isn't fantastic, however, it's much improved over the Desire, supporting most file formats up to VGA resolution. However, not 720p like say the Nokia N8 or C7. Connectivity on the Desire HD is great, with Wi-Fi and 3G on board, as well as Bluetooth, a 3.5mm headphone jack and a micro USB connection for data and charging. Other than the HDMI connector therefore, there's nothing we'd really expect on this phone. Browsing the web's a doddle, with an extremely responsive pinch to zoom, and very well displayed pages. Another highlight is the flash support. This works like a charm. So do maps and GPS, making this phone a really great connected device wherever you are. As you can see, once a connection was established, this is all through HSDPA by the way, pages load up very well. And browsing is very smooth, even when the page hasn't completely loaded yet. Performance on the HTC Desire is a mixed bag. Our phone occasionally lagged when flicking through very quickly and running background applications. However, this didn't hamper our use significantly. However, it annoyed us sometimes. The area which did, however, really frustrate us sometimes was the battery. This has been mentioned earlier in the video. After a day's medium to heavy use, occasionally we'd get a 15% battery warning before 5 or 6 p.m. This might not be acceptable for a lot of busy people who need to be connected for long periods of time on the go and don't have access to power on the fly. HTC and Android offer some remedies for this, such as the power saving toolbar on the home screen, the widget, and also in the settings there is a power saving, battery saving mode, as found on all Android handsets, which let you control what syncs and what doesn't. Nevertheless, even when we did control syncing quite a lot, we still found it flagging with heavy usage. HTC have also included a removable battery, which can help if you're prepared to buy a spare battery, and they also have a really fantastic hibernate type function which powers off the phone very quickly and then enables you to power it up again very quickly. As you can see, the phone immediately powers up from off straight to your home screen, and all it needs to do is reload HTC Sense. Not everyone will think to adopt these battery saving options, however, so the phone won't be for everyone. Overall, despite the battery, we're really impressed with HTC Desire HD's interface. It offers fantastic performance as well across the board for the most part, and is an extremely usable device. For the 4.3-inch screen, it's also not as big as we would have expected it to be, so in turn offers a considerable amount without too much sacrifice. To wrap up, the HTC Desire HD is a thing of beauty. However, it has its flaws. Its gorgeous, large, bright screen makes it a fantastic multimedia experience, and its build quality, for the most part, really enamored us. Sure, there are a few niggles, and one major issue, battery life. However, funnily enough, we didn't find it too difficult to look over these. While the hardware described has a lot more to do with it, it is Sense UI that really separates the Desire HD from the crowd. Its attractive, functional interface laid over the Desire HD's stunning, bright, responsive screen works extremely well. This phone comes highly recommended. However, if you're looking for an alternative, it would be worth considering the iPhone 4, which delivers a different OS and arguably better functionality, the Nokia N8 if you're looking for the best camera phone available, or the HTC Desire Z for Sense UI only with a physical slide-out QWERTY keyboard. If you're feeling very adventurous and like the form factor of the Desire HD, you could also consider the HTC HD7. Thanks for watching PhoneArena. This has been the video review of the HTC Desire HD. For more on this and other handsets, please visit PhoneArena.com.